I'm Shiva.
I'm Sandy.
And this is
Our Relaxing Hobby.
Hello.
Hi.
On today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the sponge filters. That's Shiva's new favorite thing, and let me tell you, I love mine as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about those. That was now. Did you see those? How did you find those? Because it was a weird. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you brought them, and so I'm assuming you found out something.
Basically, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And
fish.
Yeah. And I was looking for something completely different, and I kept running into try sponge filters. Sponge filters are great. Sponge filters will save you money. Sponge filters do not need to hook up to an external pump or anything. You can run them off of your air pump. And I thought, wow, because right now we were using, in each one of our aquariums, we had the air stones, which were run off of an air pump. And then we had the submersible pumps in each one of our aquariums because we were running like these big box filters.
And so you figure that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't even know, 8, 9.
Yeah, it was like we had like 8 or 9 of these things going, and it was sucking up in a lot of electricity. Yeah. So when I saw these things, and apparently they just run off of airlines, I thought, okay, well let's look into this a little bit more. So I was looking into it more, and people were just swearing up and down that these were the greatest things since air stones. So I thought, okay, I'll go ahead and pick up a 3-pack, and then I realized how cheap they were, and suddenly they became even more attractive.
Yeah, they're not very expensive.
Not at all.
And we originally had one for each tank for the 55s because we have several 55s and a 75, and we had one in each tank, and we were still running the bubblers. But you bought a bubbler and it has usually most of them have 2 air inputs. So one was for the bubbler and one was for the sponge filter. And you first tried them in. Which tank did you try first? Not Bonnie's.
The Ropefish.
Ropefish
were the first ones.
Okay, which was a 75. And you had only one, or did you have 2 at the beginning?
I had one at the beginning because it said that it ran up to, the box said that it went up to a 75 gallon. So I thought, okay, considering the fact that I don't fill my 75 up all the way because it's where the Ropefish are. Right. I only put about maybe 60 gallons of water in my 75 gallon tank. So I thought, okay, this should work fine. So I put that in there. And the Ropefish, by the way, love playing with it. They run around.
We'll have to tell them in a little while about how it actually works. But anyway, so
But I had learned from a YouTube video how to modify them to make them more efficient. Okay. So I'll tell you how to do that in a little bit. But I put it in. And it was like, okay, it seems to be doing the job. The water wasn't quite as clear as I was hoping. So then I thought, okay, let's put in another one and let's see what happens. Let's put one on each side. Right. And so I put one on each back corner, and the tank has been really clear. So after that, it was like, okay, everybody's getting these. Yeah,
within a couple of days, the water cleared up completely, and it looked really good. So and then you bought a couple more, and then I bought a couple. I bought one originally because I have a 55, and I said, okay, I'll leave my other one in there for a little while, and I was like, oh, this is, it's so much easier and so much quieter, and and in the long run, so much cheaper because I didn't have a homemade filter like you. I had one of the ones that hang. You have to replace the filter, the cartridge every month, and so I took that out, and I was like, my water was clear. It was a 55, so it actually one was a good, and I had the bubble one in the background, so mine was fine, but I'm paranoid, and I went ahead and put a second one in mine just to have the 2. And let me tell you, the water quality is amazing. Yeah. So I really, for a 55, I would recommend 2 just to be safe.
Well, basically,
but that's just me.
No, actually, it's a good idea, and the reason for it is because of how these things work. Right. Now, it seems like it wouldn't work. Right. It seems like there was no reason why this should work. Right. But basically,
there's a whole thing here. I'm sure that there's somebody that can explain exactly how, but go ahead, you explain it in English.
I will try to explain it in English. Basically, what it is it causes, you put a bubbler in the center of this thing, and the bubbles create a current which pulls the water into the sponge, and that's what filtrates it. And then the bubbles go up through the top. Now, because they don't create a lot of water circulation like the over the rim filters
Right.
or my waterfalls did.
Right.
It really helps to have two of them because then you have more of a current, and it's even better when you have two of them, and then you have an air
bubble.
wand,
Like I have the air wand in the middle.
which you can get away with by using splitters
Yeah.
for your tubes in order to
Right.
run them that
Most
way.
of the air pumps have two. Most have two.
Yeah.
We went ahead and got four. Like I got
Yeah, we
four
got the
just to be
4
safe
ones.
because I had, just to be safe. I mean, I didn't because I ended up having two and then the air wand.
Yeah.
So the bubbler
Well, keep
wand,
in mind,
so-
I'm running 4 aquariums off of 2
Right.
4-prong
Right.
air things right now.
So which is great. It's more energy efficient, by the way.
Oh yeah, a lot
Saves
more.
and it also long run. Nothing against the over the top filters, but it saves money in the long run because I think they cost what $10, $12, something
about
like that.
$10 a piece.
And then,
even less sometimes if you
yeah.
run into sales.
And then I mean, so $10 forever,
Mm-hmm.
or long term over
yeah,
a year or
yeah.
two, and then
I mean, they will eventually.
eventually, you're right.
Go bad, but
For a year or two, $10 where a 3 filters, which is only 3 months, cost you that much.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saving money in the long run, and they're great. I mean, they're quieter.
Much quieter.
And literally, and they're more energy efficient, which is what I love.
literally, we've got 3 running right now, and you can't hear them.
Yeah. So it's a better overall for us. I mean, we like it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's your
Well,
choice.
another thing they're good
And if you have any
for-
questions or comments, by all means, throw those
Yeah.
out there, and we'd be happy to answer them. If we don't know, we'll research that. Like, share, subscribe,
Yeah.
just in case I
Yeah.
forget to say that later.
Now, another thing that people use these things for is when they are breeding. That way they don't have the fry getting stuck in the filters.
Right. That was a big thing because with mine, the guppies and the mollies that I have in my tank, the mollies babies are even smaller than the guppy babies.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have seen them getting stuck in. Even though the filter was small, I could see the little tiny, I don't even know how small millimeter babies. They would have gotten sucked up in that. A couple of them at least would have.
Right, but with the sponge
So-
filters, like with Gareth, with the black rams that he's breeding, he's got a sponge filter in there. So if
Yeah.
they ever stop eating their eggs, and
Another episode.
Yes, another episode there. But if they ever actually
Cannibals.
let their eggs hatch, we don't have to worry about the fry getting sucked up into a filter. Now cleaning these things is a dream.
Right.
I mean, before I
It's
would
like a
have
sponge.
To, yeah.
Imagine that. How easy that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Basically, the only trick to it is that you want to make sure that you keep the bacteria.
Right.
in
You
there
don't want to
good.
clean them.
So you don't
too
want to clean them
much.
too good.
Right.
But when you do clean them, what you do is you take a little bit of your aquarium water out, put it in a bucket, take them out, wring them out in the bucket, swish them around like you would clean a dish sponge.
Yeah.
And then just make sure to do it in aquarium water because that way it's still got all the bacteria and stuff that you already have cycled. Then you just stick them back on there, stick them in the aquarium,
Yeah.
they're good to go.
Yeah. So they're pretty easy to
They
clean.
are extremely easy to clean. I love this. It is so much better than me dragging those big old things out of my tanks every week.
Getting it all nasty. That was a hassle for her. She did it because
Every
again,
week.
I don't know if anybody notices, but she is a little anal about her fish tanks.
But yeah, I love these things, and they do come in different sizes.
Right.
Now, we just told you that we keep two of them, which are both of them rated for 55s, and we keep 2 of them even in 55s.
Right.
In fact, we keep them in like Gareth 30.
Yeah.
And then like my mother has 40 that we keep them in too.
Right.
You've got 2 in your 55.
I've got 2 in my 55
2 in
and
my
a bubbler.
75.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, they work great. One was working fine. Do not get us wrong.
Right.
One worked okay. We're just really anal about water quality, so we wanted to make sure that the
Right.
water was being circulated, that the water was being cleaned. A 55, you put it in a corner. I was always I was a little paranoid that the other side the water wasn't getting clean.
Yeah. Now, if you are going to go with just one, stick it in the
Stick
center.
it in the center, in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, like I said, that was the reason I just liked having. Sorry, the fish in the background are jumping.
Yeah.
We talked about that in another episode. But yeah, so I mean, I just like it looks better to me to have 2, one on each side, and
But like we've got the one little one. We've got this teeny tiny little corner one that we've got in a beta tank right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the beta tank's only, about 2 gallons?
Yeah.
And we got this cute little
tiny,
teeny little sponge thing. It's working beautifully.
great, yeah. But I mean, they do come in different sizes for different tanks, and they are, in the long run, way cheaper.
Yes.
We really like them a lot.
Much easier on your electric bill.
Yeah.
Definitely. We've noticed a difference in that.
Yeah, so that was a big thing here because we do have, 9 tanks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. I would have to count them in my head, and I think there's at least 9, if not more.
No, I think at the last count there was 11, if you count the
Okay.
one outside. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So we have 11 tanks here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of power that we have to deal with. But if we're running several tanks off of like one 4-pronged air filter or air pump, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Now,
and that was the
what
same
we're
air pump
waiting
you were
on-
already using, so you have to use it anyway for the bubbler. You just saved a whole bunch of electricity.
Mhm.
It's not like you weren't using it already.
Right. So now all I'm waiting for are the
Fish to stop jumping?
the truck tire sized ones that we can put in the koi pond. That would be
That would be-
absolutely
okay.
wonderful.
Sponge filter people.
Yes. Yes,
Which-
we need
and if,
them
you know,
roughly
and
the
if you- and
size
if
of
you-
like monster truck
and-
tires. But if you can make those for us for the koi ponds,
And
we're indebted to you for life.
if you have any questions about them, by all means just ask. We'll get you the link or get you the name of the company that you can buy them from or where you can get them.
Yeah, basically I've been getting mine off of Amazon.
Yeah, okay.
If you just look up sponge filters
And,
or fish
and
clucking,
fish doing
weird fish
weird
shit.
fish noises.
Yeah. This is one of the smaller ones that we use
Cute
for the
little baby
beta.
one.
Yeah, this is like a teeny baby one. But I mean,
What's that one rated for? Do you know up to? 10
this
gallon?
one is up to a 10 gallon.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Which-
recommend it for more than a 5 though.
Right.
I mean, it's just a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
But basically I'm going to use this to show you the hack. Now the main components of it is the tube, which basically you thread that through your thing, stick it in there, and that's when the air's turned on, it'll bubble up, and we'll show you some footage of that. It bubbles through here. Now these things have,
Inside, she was going to play with it.
yeah, basically you can take the top, basically you're supposed to just stick the tube in this little hole here, and that's supposed to do the trick. But the hack,
That's what they all say.
yes,
Couldn't help myself,
hack
sorry.
is to get yourself a small air stone.
Right. Right.
Put your air stone in there, attach your tube to the air stone, stick it in there. Then you can run the cap back on, and
It gives it more bubbles.
Basically,
it makes it stronger.
it
Basically.
makes it a lot stronger, because more bubbles means more current, which means more getting pulled through the sponge,
Which means a cleaner tank.
which means a cleaner tank. So
You know, it doesn't. Yeah. You know.
you
I mean,
can get tiny little air stones real cheap at any pet store, and
Right.
basically you just throw that in there, hook it up to that directly.
It takes you
and-
all 30 seconds. It's
Yeah.
really not a hard thing to do, and it gives you more power.
Gives you
makes
an
it cleaner.
awful lot more power and a lot more bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Not that these things aren't dirt
They're-
cheap
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
but
they're
it
great, but-
really ups your game there with those.
Right.
So I basically modified pretty much every one that we have
Yes.
in here,
Yeah.
and it really just
Yeah.
does a bang up job. So
Yeah,
these
they do
things
great.
are extremely cheap. They come in a lot of different sizes. Like I said, you can even get ones for your little gallon beta tanks,
Right.
and your betas will love it. Because it is gentle. It's not going to have. It's not like a
Right.
filter
And
that's
also
gonna-
a lot of the bubblers have you can move the air up or down faster. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So if it isn't, you know, if you don't feel like it's cleaning it well enough, turn the air up a little bit. If
Yep.
you want to turn it down a little bit, because like I said, we have it down right now, and you can't even hear them.
Yep.
But you can turn it back up. You hear it a little bit, but not like you would hear the filter,
Mm-hmm.
the regular filters, the old-fashioned filters that had to be replaced.
Yeah,
So.
not the, well. What they're doing is they're acting more like bubblers, and they're not like
Right.
dumping water into the
Right.
aquarium, which makes a lot of noise.
Right, and you can, like I say, you can adjust. So it's a really good option.
Mm-hmm.
We really enjoy them. We really recommend them.
Yeah.
You know, again, if you have any questions or comments, we'd be happy to answer those.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any, if you'd like to like, share, subscribe,
Yeah.
tell your friends, buy some of our merchandise on our site.
Yes.
all the
we've
links
got
are
a
below.
link. All links below. Yeah.
Everything is
Visit
below.
us.
Sorry.
Visit us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By all means,
Um,
ask questions. We love it. We love questions. So you guys take care, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.